Oh, welcome back.
Nailed it.
So, all right.
I'm back
Hey, how you
too. I'm
doing?
back. Yeah. Hi,
How's
hi.
it going? So I did some things while you weren't here. I mean, you were here, but I wasn't. Anyway,
Oh,
I did a bunch of stuff off camera, and so I'm just gonna go over what I did because it's quite a few substantial things here. I did some layering. I added some new stuff. I created a new instrument. I'm going to run you through all of that stuff. But first, I'm going to just play the whole song through because I believe it's been a while since I've done that. So try to pick out the things that are different, and then I'm going to go over them one by one. Okay,
did you catch it? Did you catch the difference?
so
Subscribe.
a lot of that will be subtle differences, and I will show you everything I did. But the most obvious change is that I added a new instrument to that melodic part there. And I'll show you how I designed the instrument, and I'll let you listen to it in solo and everything. But first, let me just go down the line. I have all the tracks that I've done stuff on opened up here. So the first thing I set out to do was layer this main bass. And the first thing I thought to do was I should add a china, because that has a very thick sound for a cymbal. And that's something that can sit in the background. And it's kind of like white noise in the sense that it takes up a lot of uh, spectral space. So it can make the hit a lot thicker. So how I processed this was I took out the around 1K to 3K areas because that's where your ear is very sensitive, and I didn't want this to be a noticeable instrument. I just wanted to thicken things up. So I have more of like the low mids. I'm taking out the very lows, and then the highs. So that's just kind of filling up these two ends here. And then I ran it through a reverb to give it more of like a big sound, like kind of an auditorium sound. And the last thing I did was I processed it through a compressor and a limiter to get rid of the peak because we don't need any attack on this at all. We don't need any transient information on this sound. We just want it to basically, like I said, take up that space. So let's listen to it in solo. Okay, now I'll show you without the compressor and the limiter. So you can see when I put the compressor and the limiter on, it really accentuates that release stage and that decay, which is really what we want. And it accentuates also the reverb that's already happening, as opposed to that initial smack. We don't really want that. We're already getting that from the bass, the kick, the snare. So any more transients on top of that is just going to hit the master limiter, and that's a bad thing. I put it through a filter delay, and what I'm doing here is I'm not actually delaying it. I'm doing this sort of generic stereo spread effect where you switch it into time mode and you put the left on 1 millisecond, and then you set the right to about 16 or so milliseconds after that, and that just makes it sound wider. So here, I'll let you listen to before and after on that. So without that, it's really coming down the middle, and I wanted to fill up the stereo end of things with this instrument, so that's why I put the filter delay on. All right, so that is that. That's just hitting every time the main bass does. I added another cymbal as well, which is this sort of open hi-hat sound. And this is just hitting every quarter beat, just to kind of fill up the space in between everything. I'll let you listen to that in solo. So that's just sort of giving it a big room sound as well. But that's more just giving the whole drop as a whole that sound, as opposed to accentuating one beat. So I'm going to play that, the whole thing, and I'm just going to turn this off, and you're going to hear the difference it makes.
Hopefully.
You will. So just in case you didn't catch it, one more time. Sort of like a sparkly sound that's just happening constantly and filling up that area that no other instrument is really taking up.
It's almost like a crowd.
Yeah.
Like chanting. And you notice when a crowd is gone.
Yeah.
When you're performing.
It makes the whole thing sound less dry.
Yeah.
It's almost an illusion. It almost gives the other instruments a reverb sound.
Yeah.
So that
I put it next to like the crowd cheering analogy, metaphor, or whatever the fuck. Suddenly, fucking didn't go to college for that.
Yeah. Grammar is not what we're here for. Yeah. All right, and then
right?
Yeah, I'll take it. Move over, Skrillex. All right. All right, so I have these 3 bass sounds also that I use to layer our main bass sound. So before I go over each one, I'm just going to play the drop, and then I'm going to take them out and see if you can hear the difference. It's quite subtle, but it's really filling up the high end. So listen to the high end again. This is with it. This is without it. So it's just adding a little bit more crunch. So what I have is this first one is actually another one of the stems I got from Zanski. So I threw that in there. Simple enough. I didn't really do much to this. I did the filter delay trick to spread it on stereo. I'm bandpassing it. You can see the EQ here. And I got a little bit of a reverb going on. This next one is a bass that I actually made. So it's got sort of like a distorted sound. And I'll unfreeze this and hop into the instrument here. So it's pretty simple. It's a, what's the full name of this wavetable? Mellomantic. All right, so I have a Mellomantic, down 1 octave, got it on bend minus plus, and then I just have the macro knob set to this intensity knob here. And I'm just automating that for each note, up and down. And then other than that, it's running through a hard clipper on insert 1, and I've got the phase. I don't even think this is actually doing anything. Yeah, not much going on there. And then I have a little bit of a delay happening to give it sort of some space.
Got a clip.
That's all that I really got going on with that one. Clip? Yeah, that's a hard clipper. Hard clipper right there. I got that pretty much cranked all the way up. That's what's giving it more of like a distorted sound.
I always forget which ones are which because when they abbreviate them, I'm like,
yeah, there's not much space.
Listen.
And this right here actually is like the most subtle thing ever. I did this on my track, Maybe in Japan. I put it over each kick drum during the drop.
Really?
And you would not ever be able to pick it out. But if I took it away, I could notice it. I doubt you guys would even be able to.
Like a feeling.
It's like literally taking up just the very highest end of the fundamental frequencies. And here, just take a listen. That's literally all it is. And it's more of like a feeling thing than like a hearing thing, if that makes any sense.
That's part of music. That's why I love it.
I can't even be 100% sure that it's adding anything, but it's definitely not taking away anything. So I've got it in there. I can almost, I feel like if I do notice it, it might be placebo, but either way, that's just a trick for you guys to try. When there's not as much going on, you can try doing this over some things, the kick drum and whatever. Just make sure you turn it down really low, and it does add to your song.
If not, it just, helps you. Which everybody loves to help themselves.
And if you're curious how I made it, it's literally just a triangle wave that I put a pitch modulation on that goes up from up to down for every beat. All right, so I'm gonna refreeze this.
That's how birds are made.
Yeah. Actually, when I was making it, I had it turned way up, and this bird that sounded just like it started chirping outside my window.
Yep.
Which was pretty
funny. Birds
are
triangles. Anyway. So how you guys doing out there?
We have fun here.
Yeah. Sometimes. Case in point. Case? What kind of case?
Suitcase. Triangles have points. And full circle. Triangle. All right, moving on. So now that this is frozen, did I add a oh, yes. All right. So what are we looking at here for time, guys? What are we like? All right, we got 14 minutes. Cool. All right, so next episode, I will take you over.
We're going to talk about squares.
This. I'll take you over this instrument here. Really just a little sneak. This guy. So I'll show you how I made that next episode, and I'll show you how I processed it and everything. And then we'll do some other stuff too. So I'll see you then.
See you guys.
Bye.
Later.